Every generation of Pokemon that comes out has a region for us to explore. Some regions have too much water like Hoenn, but it's still a beautiful place to explore. Others are too bland like Kanto with not as much to explore, and some have so much like Sinnoh and Unova. Today, we're going to be going over your picks for the best Pokemon region as well as my own, and why we think the way we do. Firstly though, if y'all could please subscribe to the channel as we upload daily Pokemon content, and our end of the year goal is 100,000 subscribers. Let's keep working our butt off and let's get there. With that being said, let's go over all the opinions. In my opinion, the best Pokemon region is Unova. I know so many people either love or hate Gen 5, but the region itself is beautiful. There is so much different environmental things. There's a desert, there's a snowy cave. There's plenty of caves. There's too many caves, I will admit that. And too many bridges. However, I still think it's great. There's so many things to explore. And then in the post game too, there's the whole northeastern corner of the map you didn't get to explore. I know in Black and White 2 they fixed that so you go to those places earlier than the post game, but it's still really, really cool. And I like how if you're playing Pokemon White version, it's more set so in the past and more older looking. And then if you're playing Pokemon Black or Black and 2 or whatever, it's more future based. And I thought that was a really cool concept. And there's seasons too. The different seasons in Unova really makes you feel like you're playing not a different game, but just the aesthetics are just different and it's just really peaceful. And don't get me started on the soundtrack. Unwavering Emotion is one of the best Pokemon soundtracks ever. I don't think we have to argue that in any way, shape, or form. In my personal opinion, I really love it. So I think Unova is the best region, but Sinnoh is a close second. The first from the Discord portion is 18-Wheeler Gamer, aka Kevin. He says Sinnoh, just because. There's no reason, Kevin! 18-Wheeler Gamer, sir, please leave a comment as to why you think Sinnoh's the best. We need a reason, please. JK, but whatever. Next up, we have Bry saying the Sinnoh region, in my humble opinion, and this is purely my opinion because I enjoy the idea of a distorted world. The legendaries are sick. The mythicals are also really cool. I adore most of the gym leaders and the Elite Four. Honestly, overall, like Sinnoh is obviously one of the best if you take the Pokemon, if you take the region, if you take the gym leaders, if you take the story. Sinnoh is definitely one of the best. You have to look at Diamond and Pearl in combination with Platinum. Platinum fixes a lot of what Diamond and Pearl failed at. You know, lack of fire types, Rapid Action, Infernape, really. I know we're talking region specifically, but a little bit of a tangent. So I personally really like that opinion. Sinnoh is my second one, so let's go. Next up, we have Yami Joshua, who says, I personally like Paldea and Hisui, but I have to go with my undying love of my favorite region, Johto. Johto is the one that holds so many memories. The kid in me who watches Ash Ketchum beat Faulkner in television, the one who uses linking cord Game Boy for trading, the kid who got his first Pokemon movie 3, The Spell the Unknown, probably explain why I know unknown language well in Legends Arceus without actually telling me the translation. I do love the scenery of Johto, but the Team Rocket is just brutal. Well, if it's the first game to actually let legendary Pokemon roam around the region, the friendship evolutions in the first game to bring Dark and Steel type into the world. Technically, Magnemite was in Gen 1, but it didn't count as Steel type until Gen 2, where more Steel types are added. I do miss the beta design of Gorochu, though. Gorochu, please come back. Oh, Josh. I like Johto region as a whole. The Whirl Islands are really, really cool. The Burn Tower, and then there's the whole lore between the Burn Tower and then the Rainbow Tower? No, it's not the Rainbow Tower. I don't know. Anyway, I like how the aesthetic. I think Ice Path is really cool, even though I hated the ice puzzles as a kid. I think overall Johto is a beautiful region if we're specifically talking regions. What I don't like about Johto specifically is the level curve, but we're not talking about that in this video. We're talking about the region itself, and it's a beautiful region, so I do have to give Josh kudos there. Next up, we have Miko, and he says, I would say Sinnoh, and there are some reasons for it. I can't say anything about the anime because I haven't seen Diamond and Pearl. 1, we got a lot of good Pokemon to choose from for our party without any problem, besides fire types. 2, some Pokemon got a lot of love and new good evolutions, they deserved it. Team Galactic Skull is way beyond Team Rocket, Magma, and Aqua. They wanted to destroy the universe and remake it again to make it balanced. There's just something else, and I love it. 4, the legendaries. There are more legendaries than we normally like God Arceus, and they're all special. Is Arceus technically a legend, or is it a mythical? I feel like it's technically a mythical, right? It doesn't matter. I clump them all together anyway, so I don't really personally care. But I know some people would argue mythicals are mythicals and legendaries are legends, and they like to separate them. Me, I like to clump them all together because they got legendary stats. They're legendary in my book, so fight me. 5. The gyms, Elite Four and Champion are great. They're not just a walk in the park. That's amazing. 6. The Legends Arceus gave Gen 4 a good kick. We're seeing the region of Hisui before it later becomes Sinnoh. We got a lot of the history before Sinnoh were a thing. We've never seen that before in any other generation. It's just legendary. I'm not going to talk about my dismay of Legends Arceus because I will be ostracized and beat up in the comments, even though they're going to do it anyway, so come at me. 7. Bonus. Sinnoh would have been a perfect place to stop the Pokemon Gen. Saving the world from being destroyed isn't anything beyond that. They still can make sense to make. We got the god, and yes, we're supposed to be the end. It was supposed to be the end. That's my reason for Gen 4 Sinnoh Hisui's best generation. Honestly, this was well stated, Miko. I can't even disagree with any of this a lot, besides me not really liking Legends Arceus. Tenloso says Sinnoh is always my go-to. Mechanically, the split of physical and special inside the types were a game changer that shouldn't be underappreciated. Stylistically, it was a lot of fun. I like the setting and it's easy to fanfic with. The leaders feel challenging, at least as much as Pokemon leaders can be, and the Pokemon designs were fun. It also felt like it had the biggest stakes on the cover box. Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon Dialga and especially Giratina really emphasized Sinnoh. Giratina, especially the distortion roll, I thought that was the coolest thing back when it came out in 2009. I was a junior in high school in 2009. I know I am an old man, as that was 15 years ago, and I will be 33 at the end of the year. God, I'm old. Anyway, my point is, I think it was really cool. I loved the distortion world when I first played it. I would definitely go back to it, and this is why I like doing Gen 4 ROM hacks and Gen 4 playthroughs so much, because it's just near and dear to my heart. Like I said, Unova is still going to be #1 because that is what started this channel. I don't know when this video is going to be uploaded, but I'm really hoping on March 14th I can do a very special video that some people might be able to guess. I'm going to leave it on the down low for now, but just let's cross our fingers that it can be happening on March 14th. I'm just crossing my fingers a lot. Next up, we have Samuel, aka Disbelief, says, I think the Unova region because Unova has a lot of creativity and just fun in the games, especially because most of the designs are good, but they make you use the good designs instead of always just picking your favorites. I also like the story, and the gym leaders actually do something relevant to the story. Thank you, Samuel. We love Unova. Unova stands unite! If you love Unova, hashtag Unova stands in the comments, please. I love this idea, Samuel, for sure. It's a really good idea. The gym leaders do play a part. They're always trying to be, a lot of them are trying to be proactive with Team Plasma and everything. Hi, Booty. You just like to come up here in most videos, and Daddy really appreciates you and loves you a lot. Good girl, honey. That's awesome. I definitely agree to that. That's one of those things I was saying as well. And yeah, all the characters seem more, it's like a cohesive unit trying to end Team Plasma and not let them liberate people in Pokemon and everything. Even though Getsus is a hypocrite and he uses Pokemon to try to liberate people in Pokemon. Hypocrisy at its finest, folks. Alright, we're on to the YouTube portion. YouTube Social HD2 says, if I were to give a region the best ranking, it would be Kanto region, simply because that's where the Pokemon franchise first started. I mean, you can't argue that. Without Kanto, there wouldn't be Johto, there wouldn't be Hoenn, there wouldn't be Galar, there wouldn't be Sinnoh, there wouldn't be Unova, there wouldn't be Alola, there wouldn't be Kalos, and there wouldn't be Paldea or Hisuian either. So Kanto takes the cake in that aspect, 100%. Can't argue that. Next up, we got Godeman, aka Yodeman, says, might be controversial, but I have to say Alola. To be fair, I'm blinded by nostalgia since they were my first Pokemon games, but I think it was part of a peak 3D games. This was when Mega Pokemon were still around, the National Dex wasn't cut, so competitive Pokemon was best it would be ever be. Also, the Pokemon created were amazing, and it's when they introduced region-based forms. In short, it's a charming and well-balanced region. So I do like Alola. I think based on Hawaii, obviously, the 4 islands, I thought that was a really cool aspect, but some of the pacing of the game just, for some reason, didn't work to some degree. Like, if you're trying to do hardcore Nuzlocke, they kind of screwed you over really badly. The level cap, the level scaling at the beginning is a little bit awkward. Potown, I love Potown. Potown is one of my favorite places in Pokemon history, so I really love Potown. I think the aesthetic, I think the different scenery, the jungles, and then the volcano. There's like a snowy area. Was that in Victory Road? Somewhere on there. But then there's just different scenery that makes it really cool as well. So I think Alola's definitely a beautiful region, but I don't think it was peak competitive. I think peak competitive was Gen 6. The only thing I wish we could change about competitive in Gen 6 was how speed mechanics work. Prior to Gen 8, how speed would work if you have weathers, right? So say you are leading Kingdra and Tornadus, right? And your opponent has Excadrill and Hippowdon, and the sand was up, right? How it would work prior to Gen 8, even though Tornadus could click Rain Dance with Prankster Rain Dance, back in before Gen 8, the speed tiers, the speed was already determined. first. So Drill would still move first. However, after Gen 8 and after, if Tornadus clicks Rain Dance with Prankster, Kingdra then takes priority to be faster, and Muddy Water would go first. And if it's Choice Specs Kingdra in the rain, that would potentially OHKO both Drill and Hippowdon. Probably not Hippowdon. It all depends on EVs and spreads and everything like that. It could be Assault Vest Drill, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. If Gen 6 could have had that speed mechanic, and then how they changed Megas in Gen 7. So if you guys didn't know, Mega Beedrill always used to run Protect in Gen 6 because it didn't get its speed Mega Boost. In Gen 7, they fixed that. So it automatically got its speed boost in Gen 7. So if Gen 6 could have had the Megas automatically having their speed and how speed mechanics work now, I personally think that would have been peak competitive. It would have been so good, really awesome. I just would have loved it to death. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. Beaker says Hoenn because 7.8, winky face. Not enough water. I'm just kidding. Like I was saying in the intro to this video, there's a lot of water. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, Hoenn's really great. I do like it. I don't know if it's the best. Obviously, you know, Vincino are the best for me. I mean, I love Pokemon in general, so it's really, I don't necessarily hate a region. I do think Kanto is the most bland though. I do really think Kanto is the most bland, but that's just me. Beej says, in my opinion, since I have only played the older games or ROM hacks, I'd say the best region is yet to be discovered. I'd say Pokemon could do so much more than what they do in the way of regions. I say that because I've just never had an accessible Pokemon game to me. Only way I play is mobile. But if I had to make a real actual decision, I'd say Rhyme City. Pokemon Detective Pikachu was my favorite game when I was young. I've never really played Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Did they have another game besides what that just came out? Because I don't personally know. I've never played Detective Pikachu. I don't know anything about Rhyme City. So I definitely respect the opinion. I just know nothing about Rhyme City. I never even saw a Detective Pikachu movie because it just wasn't super appealing to me. I apologize. But there you have it, folks. Your guys' opinions and my own on the best Pokemon regions of all time. If you guys weren't in the video, make sure you guys comment your opinions down below so I can read more. I always do thrive and strive to interact and heart and reply to as many comments, so feel free to leave a comment, and make sure you leave a comment on future polls that we do, future discussions in the Discord. Make sure you join that. It's always in the description down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I love you all. Peace.